Sophia did not expect to hear her name on the noisy square near the old train station, where tourists rushed around with suitcases and local vendors shouted out prices for fruit. So when a female voice, dripping with forced cheerfulness, called out, "Sophia, what a coincidence," she involuntarily flinched and slowly turned around, already knowing who was standing behind her. An unpleasant tightness gripped her chest. In front of her stood Martha Holtz, the woman Sophia had hoped never to see again in her life, the mother of her ex-husband, the very person who had once methodically and cold-bloodedly destroyed everything the young woman had worked so hard to build. Martha looked exactly the same as always, perfectly styled hair, a strict coat, and that assessing gaze, as if Sophia were still taking an exam she was doomed to fail. "Good afternoon, Frau Holtz," Sophia replied quietly and tiredly, not even trying to hide the chill in her voice. She had no strength left for hypocrisy, and no time either. Her flight was leaving in less than an hour, and she wanted to leave this German city forever, without lingering for a single minute. "Where did you disappear to?" the woman immediately attacked, not giving her a chance to gather herself. "I was looking for you. You changed your number, moved away, as if you were deliberately hiding." Sophia opened her mouth to answer, but Martha cut her off with a sharp wave of her hand, making the young woman wince. Rudeness had always been something she could not tolerate. "I actually wanted to apologize," Martha said with unmistakable condescension. "When you have children of your own, you'll understand me. I only wanted the best for my only son, and back then he got involved with you and refused to listen to me." Sophia glanced at her watch, exhausted, and asked almost emotionlessly what exactly she had done wrong, already knowing the answer. "Well, think about it," Martha exclaimed, throwing up her hands. "You grew up in foster care, your parents were alcoholics, you have no real education, just an ordinary job. And my Daniel was always surrounded by well-off, well-groomed girls from good families." Sophia took a deep breath and coldly asked whether the woman had anything else to say, because she truly had to go. "Oh, don't rush," Martha snapped irritably. "You know Daniel got married again, right?" Sophia smirked and raised her eyebrows in surprise, genuinely failing to see why she should care about the life of a man connected to her only by painful memories. "So," the woman continued with obvious satisfaction, "he married very unsuccessfully. His new wife is 12 years older than him and has a child. Can you imagine? I won't tolerate such a daughter-in-law. So, I decided that you'd be better. Come back." "I agree." For a moment Sophia couldn't believe her ears, and then she burst out laughing so loudly that several passers-by turned around. "Are you serious?" she asked through laughter. "I've been married for 3 years now, and I'm truly happy. My husband showed me what respect and care really mean, not constant reproaches and control. So goodbye, and never look for me again." With that, Sophia turned and walked away, feeling an incredible sense of relief, as if she had finally closed the door on her past life. Years ago, she hadn't cared where she went. She had simply bought a ticket for the first available flight and ended up in a small coastal town in Portugal, where it was almost always warm, the sea was close by, and people were astonishingly kind. Back then, lost and broken, she sat down on a park bench. Strangers approached her, asking if she needed help, until an elderly woman named Esther took her home, made her tea, and listened to her entire story. Sophia had grown up in a dysfunctional family and spent most of her childhood in foster care, where she ended up after neighbors could no longer endure the constant screaming and called social services. Only there did she learn what warmth, regular meals, a clean bed, and life without fear truly meant. She was a good student, but after school she could only enroll in a local college because she had no money. Later she found a job as an administrative assistant, where she met Daniel. He courted her beautifully, promised eternal love, and after the wedding turned into a devoted mama's boy, incapable of even washing his own cup. His mother interfered in everything, teaching Sophia how to live, how to cook, how to dress, and how many children she was supposed to have. When Sophia finally tried to stand up for herself, rumors spread through the town. She lost her job, and her husband filed for divorce, even attempting to take away her apartment. That was when her world completely collapsed. But it was Esther who helped her believe in herself again, and later introduced her to her grandson Miguel, a calm, reliable man who patiently earned Sophia's trust over 6 months. They got married, had a daughter, and for the first time in her life, Sophia felt loved simply for who she was, without conditions. Now, sitting in a taxi and watching Martha Holtz turn red with rage on the square, Sophia realized that everything in her life had turned out exactly as it should have. And for that, she was grateful to fate and to the person who once showed her that the past does not define the future.